Have you ever found yourself casually shopping and then out of nowhere, in the corner of your eye, you spot the most magnificent thing possible? It is a plant. Could be any plant, but let's say this one, it's a money tree, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. A money tree. But then you grab the plant and you realize, I don't know how to care for this. So you question if you just put it back and keep on walking and keep on shopping for what you were shopping for. Or instead, if you should bring it home and attempt to care for it, only to find it dying a few weeks later. This video is going to be teaching you how to care for a money tree. So if you know even a little bit about plants, you may have seen one of these before. This is a Guiana chestnut, also known as money tree, Pachyra aquatica, whatever. Today we're gonna call it Guiana chestnut, okay? I don't care what you call it, as long as you don't call it something weird like Pringles plant, because okay, let's just begin. So to start this off, we're gonna talk about lighting. Lighting is very important for every plant in the whole world, obviously, but with these plants, they're a bit misunderstood on their lighting. Some people put them in darker light than they like. Some people think they cannot take even direct sunlight. If they're outside, they can take the full sunlight. Like, who cares? But if they're indoors, though, they generally do best in bright indirect light, and mine can take a few hours of direct sunlight, so I think yours could too, okay? Mine's 2, maybe 3 feet away from the window. All these people put it 20 feet away from the window and expect it to be happy. Well, look at it. It's not going to be happy like mine is. People even say medium light. They can tolerate that, but they'll do best in bright and direct light. If a plant can do best in a type of lighting, why are you not giving it that amount of lighting? Makes sense. Move the Pringles. Now, I actually have 2 lights shining directly in my face. One of them is an LED light. The other one is a plant light that helps plants grow. I do not use that. I only use it for YouTube videos, and if I want to light. I don't use it for I don't use it like a grow light. It's just there. But you can use grow lights for sure. They work. Now, let's talk about soil. They like a well-draining mixture, like most plants, but they like more of a peat moss base, maybe. So I do have like fake moss on the top just to make it look pretty, which is actually coming off, and it's only on like one spot, which is not pretty, but it's fine. Basically, I have no idea what soil mixture this is in, but I think it looks good, okay? It's kind of peat moss based almost. So it has to be, well, nutrient rich too, because they live in the Amazon, in the, near the river, where is it nutrient based in the river? I don't know, we'll find out someday. But make sure the soil's right, and make sure it's not always wet, make sure it dries out enough in between waterings, and make sure the plant is happy in the soil. Speaking of watering, let's talk about water. These plants like water, but they don't want a lot of it, okay? Trust me. Some people overwater their plants, especially of this species. What is that? The one where you can tell is if the leaves kind of yellow, which none of the leaves are, because this is a beautiful plant. This one's the best plant around. My plant is better than yours. Just trust me, you can get your plant to look like mine someday. But it'll never be better than mine, because my plant is the best plant in the whole world. You know what? Anyway, another way you can kind of tell if the plant is being overwatered is if you look at the new set of leaves. This has actually been here for a while. But the thing is, these are new leaves. These look healthy. The new leaves are nice and soft. They can probably get damaged easily. They're soft, right? Because they're fresh, they're new. When they get big, they should harden off like this, and like every other leaf in here. But this set of leaves, and this one too, this one's slightly hardening off. But this never really fully hardened off, and that was because I was giving it too much water. So that's one of the downsides of giving it too much water, which there's no really upsides. There's no really upsides of giving them too much water. Another bad thing for giving them too much water is if the trunk rots and gets all smushy. All you have to do is take the trunk out. There's no going back. Mine is actually wrinkly. That is only because I didn't give it water in a while. Which it's fine doing. It's fine, but the wrinkles are gonna go away. I watered it yesterday, so. Now, temperature and humidity, these plants can do just fine in household temperatures as long as they don't get below like 55 or 50 or something like that. Even then, they'll still do okay as long as it's not for too long. And humidity, they love high humidity, but they can do just fine indoors, okay? You don't really need to worry about that too much. You don't necessarily see crispy leaves on these ever. My room stays humid because I have plants like nepenthes, alocasias, bananas, all these plants that love humidity, and they need the humidity, so that's why I have. Now with fertilizing, when you fertilize the plant, do it once a month in the growing season. What is the growing season? The growing season is spring and summer. In fall and winter, if you feed them, they will probably get over-fertilized, and it's bad. With fertilizer, just basic house plant food, make sure it's house plant. There's no like recommended brand that I would know of besides anything really, as long as it's made for this. And the last thing I want to mention that is very important, you do, and if you don't do, that's so bad, you should go to prison. Keep it in a small pot, okay? I've seen people upsize it in pots way too big for it. I did the mistake of my previous money tree that's not here anymore. But at least we have this one now. So just keep it in a pot that fits its root ball, okay? They like tight pots because their roots are shallow. They're like that really, and they will get root rot easily. And trunk rot, root rot equals trunk rot, bad stuff basically. So you just want to keep it in a tight pot because a big pot, the water won't really go away. And make sure the pot has drainage. If the pot doesn't have drainage, what are you doing? And you may be even thinking, yeah, you went over watering it. But when you water it, make sure you water it. I say in the spring and summer, maybe water when the soil is, the top 1 inch is fully dry. The rest can be moist or whatever, but the top inch is fully dry. If that seems to be overwatering it, do it when the top 2 inches are fully dry. And then in fall and winter, no matter what, always do just the top 2 inches. Okay. Every plant is kind of different in their own way. I've noticed this plant gets sensitive to too much water, and can go a long time without water. But I know a lot of money trees that are sensitive to going a long time without water. Every plant is slightly different, but they're all very similar in different ways. It's just like how the white people and the black